We are IFFR. We are members of the International Fellowship of Flying Rotarians. We have friends worldwide in Rotary and in aviation. The first Rotary Club met in Chicago in 1905. Rotary was the intellectual offspring of a unique, adventurous soul, Paul P. Harris. IFFR was the brainchild of E. Edison Kennel. Rotarian Ed realized that there must be hundreds of fellow flying Rotarians in the skies over his native land and worldwide. Founding Chairman Ed envisioned a network of pilots who shared not only his love of aviation, but his dedication to the Rotary concept of fellowship and service. The dream of Paul Harris grew to include over 1 million men and women worldwide. The select group of flying Rotarians grew to include thousands of members worldwide. As Rotarians, we know that as we travel, there are Rotary clubs ready to welcome us at their local weekly meetings. As IFFR members, we know that many of those clubs include fellow aviators, many already members of our worldwide family. The realization, you are my fellow Rotarian and a fellow pilot, never fails to elicit a smile on the face of a flying Rotarian. Many Rotarian pilots have yet to learn of IFFR. But when they do, they promptly join. Our members are not limited to Rotarians who fly. Many dedicated Rotarian members are married to pilots who themselves are not Rotarians. Many are the pilot spouse of Rotarians. Some of our most impressive members are Rotaract members with aviation skills or an abiding interest in aviation. Rotarians strive to get the most out of our Rotary Club membership by attending weekly meetings and growing fellowship locally. IFFR members learn how to maximize their benefits from and service to our worldwide family. We learn when traveling with or without our personal aircraft to make contact with local IFFR members. The benefit of this may turn out to be enjoying coffee or a meal with a new friend, or it may turn into a lifelong friendship with a Rotarian who treats us to adventures we would have never enjoyed otherwise. Imagine telephoning a stranger for advice only to spend the following afternoon overflying 3 of the Hawaiian Islands in his personal aircraft. Or dropping in on strangers in a Rotary Club in central Switzerland to be befriended by a couple of fellow IFFR members, one of whom arranges a 3-hour adventure over alpine ridges that very afternoon in a high-performance sailplane. Even if one limited contact with fellow IFFR members to participating in the organized events of the group, your life will be enriched by rare regional and international adventures. We have journeyed in a fleet of 52 private aircraft from Brisbane on the Pacific Ocean to Longreach in the Australian outback, then across the Tropic of Capricorn to Cairns and the Great Barrier Reef. We spent a week using leased and chartered aircraft to get to know 6 islands in Hawaii. We explored Scandinavia from Copenhagen to Helsinki, Stockholm to the Norwegian fjords in a fleet of private aircraft. We spent 10 days adventuring from San Antonio, Texas to Amarillo in an airborne adventure that included Carlsbad Caverns, Santa Fe and Taos, New Mexico, Mesa Verde in Colorado, an overflight of Monument Valley and the Grand Canyon en route to unforgettable Bryce Canyon National Park. We have been hosted at his private airfield in Latvia by a top Russian test pilot. We have swum in icy Norwegian fjords and scuba dived in the much warmer waters of the Great Barrier Reef. From the USA, our members have flown aircraft loaded with disaster relief supplies to Haiti and into Mexico. Some of our more intrepid pilots have crossed the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in personal aircraft. One IFR member just completed an around-the-world adventure with spouse and friends in a private aircraft. Many of our members use personal aircraft to fly children to faraway medical resources and to transport medical specialists into underserved regions. Aviation opportunities in IFFR are innumerable. More valuable are the lifelong friendships that originate in our unique organization. To acquire friendships of depth is easier among like-minded individuals. We share Rotary. We share a respect for and a love of aviation. If these attributes describe you, join us in the best of the Rotary fellowships.